So hello everyone, my name is Anjali and I'm fourth year BSMS student at IISER Bhopal because I've given my entrance and of course I'll pass. So in this video, I want to introduce you all to our special guest who is my favorite senior, Rita Avani Di. So she has done her BSMS from IISER Bhopal. She was a visiting student at CALTECH. But she has got her degree from IISER Bhopal only. She has defended here, and now she's incoming PhD student at Harvard. So yeah, everyone's dream institute, Harvard. So she is gonna do her PhD there. So in this video, Dee will guide you all. She will clear many of your doubts related to PhD and overall engineering, BS engineering at IISER Bhopal. I have noted down your points and Dee is gonna clear them. So this video will be beneficial for all of you, all the bachelor's master's students. This video is full of information, so you may have to see this again and again to grab it. So I hope that this video will be helpful to you all. So yeah, let me tell you what all I'm gonna cover in this video. So here are some points which will be covered in this video. First of all, what is the difference between BS and BTech engineering? And then if you want placements, then what should you do, BS or BTech? And how much is the package that people at IISER Bhopal who have done BS engineering they get? And how to apply for PhD? What should be the procedure? What means what you have to write in SOP, that is statement of purpose. To apply means the application fees of these institutes outside India is so much that middle class cannot afford. So what you have to do, how you have to apply, and yeah, IISER Bhopal does not disclose the placement data. So that's the reason I also don't tell you people, because without knowing it's not good to tell. But Dee was in placement cell for 1 year. So, and yeah, she's so senior to me, so she knows many people. So she will tell you about the placement scenario also. Yeah, and then what advantage will you get because of that IISER tag? And there will be a message for, of course, NEET and JEE aspirants. And yeah, she will tell you about the funding scenario, like who gives funding, Indian government or that institute, wherever is located that government. So she will clear this and she will share her experience also of BS engineering, BSMS engineering at IISER Bhopal. So this video will be very helpful for you. And yeah, when we were talking, she's not here at institute, so we managed somehow on video conference. So I forgot to ask one question, that is CPI mandatory to apply for PhD abroad? So after that, she replied to me that it depends on institute to institute. Like some institutes have CPI mandatory, but it's not compulsory. It's not the case with every institute. So yeah, even if you have low CPI, then do not hesitate to fill the form. She has told me this. So that's all I wanted to add and say. So now let's start with the video.
So hello everybody. I'm very excited to be here. At least as excited as you are, Anjali, if not more. So firstly, it's really nice to see that I'm being interviewed by a female YouTuber, which is quite rare because most of the interviews I've given so far are with males. Not to make the distinction, but it definitely is a very nice feeling. So yeah, good. I just finished my BSMS in electrical engineering and computer science from IISER Bhopal. Like Anjali mentioned, I'm a few batches senior to her, and I'll be joining Harvard School of Engineering and Applied Sciences for my PhD this fall, that is fall of 2024. So I'm excited to be here, and I hope I'll be able to clear any questions that you might have.
So what is the difference between BS and BTech? Like they frequently ask these questions.
Actually, one thing which is good is nowadays the distinction is becoming very less. They're almost the same because in United States, how it's seen is a bachelor's degree is for 4 years. So whether you do it in arts, whether you do it in science or in engineering. So the BS BTech distinction was more prominent in India until a few years back. But thankfully, things are changing. Like in IISER itself, we now have an exit clause even for BSMS in natural science. So it's like a 4 year degree, If it is in natural science or arts, is often given the name BS, and if it's in engineering, then it's given the term BTech. But because now most of the undergraduate degrees are all for 4 years, the distinction has, like I mentioned, reduced. Um, if you currently consider IISER Bhopal, I was told this during the orientation for engineering sciences that BS and BTech have some sort of a degree equivalent certificate. So a BS in engineering sciences is almost equivalent to a BTech degree.
Yes. So if people want placements and they're not interested in doing PhD, then they should do BS or BTech.
Right. This is a very nice question. I keep getting asked this question very frequently. So to answer it, so as we speak, as much as placements are, very dependent on the institute, the counseling cell, etc., I think it's also a lot on the individual. The individual onus is huge here. Like we often hear of pay packages or we hear of placements of individuals from colleges whose names we might not have heard of. So it's a lot about this collectivism you have as an individual and also about the ecosystem. For instance, I was blessed, like I had a very good set of friends. So for instance, we kept taking part in hackathons and, different types of per se coding events and tech fests, etc. So that sort of, collectively bolstered our spirit and, alacrity towards solving challenges. And that, in a way, might have helped me when I was placed in IBM for the summer, and then I got a pre-placement after that. So I think when we speak about placements, because it's mostly targeting an application when we look at the industry. So regardless of whether you're from chemistry or from biology or from physics or even for that matter from computer science, I think if you possess the skills required for say, coding in Python or C or maybe knowledge in investment banking, I think in that event you're good to go. So developing those skills and those tools required to apply to a problem, that is more prevalent in the market is what is needed. So you, Anjali, for instance, even if you're a natural science student, I think you possess great skills in video editing and photography, like can be seen through a YouTube channel. That is something that can be very valuable to the industry too. So if you
Yeah.
look at it, I think everybody can, on their path while studying BSMS or any degree, develop these skills, work on them, because I think eventually you're tested on these lines in interviews and through coding mocks, etc. So yeah, so it's all an individualistic onus. And I think whether it's a BS or a BTech, if you possess the ardent skills, it'll always be helpful. Yes.
Thank you. The next question which they commonly ask is what is the package or how much we can expect after BS or MS. So I do from biological
So
science we don't get placements. I don't know about engineering, so can you clarify this?
yes. So, of course, I don't have the official statistic from the placement cell, but I was there in the cell for a year during my first year. After that, it got too busy. But from the mails that I keep seeing, that we keep getting, actually, biology, this is some sort of misnomer that people in biology don't get pay packages because I think after COVID, this thing has improved significantly because the world is understanding the importance of biology, applied biology, interdisciplinary sciences, sustainability, etc. So there's so much in the pharma industry, for instance, pharmaceuticals. There's so much in biostatistics that's going on, drug discovery, etc. So there are a lot of openings if you look at it for biology students, and that will also depend on the individual. I think at IISER, most of the students in biology want to do a PhD, but I do know that there are a lot of seniors who've gotten into Reddy's lab per se, those kind of
Yeah.
companies and they've got placed well. Otherwise, when it comes to coding and when it comes to AI and ML and DL, I know seniors who've been placed in Google, for instance, there's Ankur Bhaiya, a friend of mine, I think got a pay package of 24 lakhs. This was in a new agro-based startup. And recently there have been hirings for Barclays, so I can speak about that better. I think it was around 16 to 7 LPA. Don't quote me exactly, but yeah, it was around that range. There was Nomura before that. There's Deloitte. There's TCS. So I think we're seeing new trends being set every year. The benchmarks are increasing, which is a good thing. So be assured that actually, if you put in effort and if you work hard, you're definitely bound to get something. There's something out there for each one of us.
Yes. So as you have done your MS also from outside and then PhD also, so can you tell us that how to approach, like we don't know even how to apply and what is the procedure? So can you give us a brief?
Definitely. Thank you for that question. Because, when I was in my first year, I had the same question. And I also hopped around quite a bit, trying to understand where do I fit in? How do I get it done? And then, then there was COVID and a lot of things happened after that. But from what I understood, again, take it with a grain of salt. I think this entire 4 years or 5 years of BSMS is this discovery of, it's a journey of self-discovery. So as I kept trying to understand what I like, I kept reading articles, papers, stumbled upon researchers. Like I would be reading an article on, per se, quantum AI, something very fancy. And then I would see, oh, this is the researcher. Oh, he works at so-and-so institute. Let's contact him. Let's ask him if he has any openings or if I would be of any use to his labs. So I think it's a lovely process. I mean, the entire thing, it is very enjoyable. So, sometimes you stumble upon research papers, you stumble upon books and you read, and then you come across individuals working in the field. You can always cold mail them, expressing your interest in their ongoing research activities. So I had mailed somebody at CalTech and I expressed my interest to work with him. I had an idea in mind and he was already working in a field which was, which is saturating and there could have been an alternative to approach that problem. So when I proposed it, I mailed him, dear Professor so, I'm interested in this. Is it possible? Can I work under you? Then I came to know that Caltech has a program. It has a visiting program. It has many summer programs also, which sort of host you and pay you, which is really nice, because that is often an issue that we face in India. Funds are quite an issue. And it is very important for all of us to look at the funding scenario as well. So I was lucky that I got funded. So I think it's the entire Communicado is about finding what you like, trying to reach out to individuals who work in that area and, mail them. Mails need not be fancy. Nowadays, we see Chat GPT being used to draft emails of all kinds and, with very, very superfluous mails. Let's leave no stone unturned to work on. So I think it's about just finding the right lab groups and, expressing your interest saying, hey, I've worked on so, and I want to explore so, and, I've seen you working on this area. Do you have any opportunity for me? And I would like to do an external thesis under you, and I'll be very happy if you could host me, if possible, give me a very nominal stipend. So that's how I landed at Caltech, and it was a great experience. Of course, I missed IISER a lot, and the last few days I've been missing it even more. But yeah, I think it's about reaching out and overcoming your fear of expressing your interest in something. So if you are interested in something, how best can you express your interest? So here in academia, it's often through an email. And we just shouldn't be scared. We have to be as honest as we can in saying, oh, well, I'm interested in something. Maybe I do not possess papers or as many skills as yet to approach the problem, but I've read some of it. This is my understanding, and I wish to enhance my understanding. So I think that's what it is about.
Yeah, so I understood that through mails we can get it, but I see that people find it difficult to pay the IISER fees even, many. They tell me that how I'll pay this. And the application fees of all these institutes outside India, it's too much. So is there a way to fill the form? Because normally they won't be able to fill the form. So how can they fill the form?
So this is actually a very good question. Thank you for asking it. Because I think we all need to understand that, yeah, the financial barrier, more often than not, is a huge problem in India. So thankfully, at least for the internships I'd applied outside, be it CHALPA or my tax that I had gotten, even CalTech, VURP. These did not have any application fee. So while applying, I did not have to pay. In fact, after getting selected, I was given a stipend. So I really did not have to pay from my pocket as such. But these are again portal-based programs, which would often initially involve cold mailing, but you'll have to fill a portal, submit an LOR, write an SOP. But there are many individuals nowadays who simply land in these internships by cold mailing. That is also a possibility. But there, that is where the funding issue comes into picture. Because, for instance, we're now seeing a lot of individuals going to, per se, Germany, France, Australia. They do get a nominal stipend, but that's often not enough to cover, per se, visa fees or airfare. So that is actually, a pressing challenge. But I think that's the advantage we have in IISER, I guess, because the institute is having collaborations with institutions like ENS or ANU, etc. So in these kind of, another reason to per se join this institute, not selling it, but is that if you have collaborations and MOUs, I think that sort of helps you get rid of the initial bottlenecks financially. The visa, the accommodation, airfare, etc. So once these things are covered and then you get a nominal stipend, it really becomes easier. I think that is what we all. Also, there are many more fellowships that are coming up. There's EPFL, ETS Zurich, Swiss think tank, etc. There are industrial internships like IBM when I was working at in the summer, IBM Research India. So they pay for the airfare, they give a settling allowance, which is really nice. It's very difficult otherwise. Yes.
So we just have to find the way to our dream. We just have to keep
Yes, it's about the search. Yeah. Yes, the exploration. Yes.
So the who gives us funding? Like finance is the main issue, and they ask me, and I don't know who gives us funding. It is given by Indian government, or we where we go they give us funding.
Okay, so this is very dependent on the program. There is no generic paradigm. If it's an MOU per se with IISER and another institution like ENS or ANU, Australia, where many people are going, then I think the funding is taken care of by both ends. There's some sort of 50-50 or 75-25% rule, depending on the currency denomination, etc., accommodation, etc. But other programs, like when I had gone to CalTech, my program was completely funded by CalTech. IISER did not fund me. When I had gone to France, that was also completely funded by partly by the lab I went to and the French government, actually, the French embassy, because this was a program that was conducted or organized by the French embassy in India. So I think this is very program specific. You can have other programs in India as well, like Indian Academy of Sciences, the IIS, FAST fellowships, etc. So that is funded by IISc, the Government of India, Indian Academy of Sciences, etc. So funding is very dependent on the program. But in the event that you cold mail a lab or a professor, most often than not, professors do have funding. So that could be from their own grant money, or that could be through certain portal-based programs that the universities have. Like IIT Roorkee has its own program, IIT Bombay has its own program. So all these IITs and TIFRs, etc., they do individuals. Yes.
Adi, can you tell about SOP and means what is that and what we have to write?
Yeah. So this is a very good question. Again, statement of purpose. That's what an SOP stands for. So I spent a long amount of time to trying to understand what an SOP is, how could it be changed, how could it give the best impression. I think what I understood at the end of the day is the formula for writing an SOP is that there is no formula. It's like your canvas. So, imagine if you're an artist or if you're a painter, what would be your best depiction of arts? Somebody might like oil painting, somebody might like sketch pen, somebody might like pencils. So I think an SOP is very individualistic and personal. The way it's about you trying to understand your aspirations and telling a committee or a professor or a group of people why are you so interested in the program. So in the fellowship programs I've sort of applied to so far, the SOPs are just 250 to 500 word statements where you outline why you're interested in joining the institute. Why do you want to carry out a summer program here? When it comes to PhD, it gets more complicated than that. There are often two SOPs, one targeting the program and one targeting the institute. For instance, at Harvard, one SOP was based on why I would like to apply to engineering school or a particular lab. And another SOP is the personal statement, which is based on why would I want to study at Harvard? What are my aspirations? Why should it, what is, that's when you get into the details and you have to do research about a place. For instance, for me, I wanted to go into some sort of a liberal arts school that had, arts, sciences, and technology, because I think it is very holistic and it gives you a very different approach to life. Studying sciences along with being in a place where arts is given a lot of importance, sports is given importance, culture is given importance, I think helps in the overall holistic development of an individual. So again, to each one their own. Some people might prefer going to a tech school after being admitted to, like where I was, CALTECH or MIT, because they are very focused on engineering disciplines and STEM. So some people would like to be focused in those kind of areas. So an SOP is some sort of a process where you discover yourself and then you're trying to put on words, put on paper using words. Why would you or how would you best fit a place? For instance, I want to maybe go to France because or Germany to study an area A. Maybe because in history, area A has its foundations in Germany. For instance, photonics was discovered in a place named Vienna in Germany. So many people might want to add such facts in their SOP. So an SOP can be very personalized. Anjali, like, why do you want to do molecular biology? What fascinates you? Maybe a lot of other people want to do molecular biology, but what is it that, ingrains you towards it? So for me, why is it that I like applied physics? So I think the best way to go about an SOP is to ask yourself these questions, ponder about it, think about it, and also try to understand that comparing your views with others might be the worst thing to do because, to each one their own. We're all different individuals. What you might enjoy, I might not enjoy, and what I might enjoy, you might not. So I think what we need to be mindful about, how we used to be taught at school. This is the way essay likhna hai, introduction, main body, conclusion. So those are not things that are necessary in SOP. You can go raw, you can go wild, you can start it the way you want to. Maybe you can start off with what you've done earlier and then move on to what you like. Or you can start off with something that hit you, some sort of a question you have in your mind. Oh, I want to understand why did COVID arise at the first place, So I think SOPs are very personal, and these tell institutions, boards, committees why you are interested in a program or solving a question. And trust me, you need not always have answers. That's what we do research for, right? To make known what is unknown, to find out what we don't know. Because if we knew everything, then why would we be here? So that's what SOPs are about, asking questions, asking yourself questions.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were there at last question. So do you want to give any message to all the
Yes.
NEET and JEE students?
Oh my God. So, well, actually, you've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there, and it's a very difficult phase, I understand, and it's easier said than done. In fact, may I say it this way? I still remember the day, when I got admitted to IISER. Trust me, it's not like मुझे ऐसे IISER मिल रहा था. Even it was difficult for me too. It's not like I had a lot of options either. And now when I look back and now I'm going to Harvard, it's quite a journey, it's very surreal. I can't believe it. But I would like to say this much that, every day is not easy. I think that's what this is about. If we always got what we wanted and if everything were to be easy, we would stop working hard, right? And I think that's the whole essence of it. If I take your example itself, you're a student and you're a YouTuber on the side, and this is a very male-dominated area. It's an area
Yeah.
that's, I mean, you're also balancing your studies along with doing something else, and this is in a way an alternative career avenue. So I think people don't know that nowadays there's so many more things you can do other than studies. I'm not saying leave studies, of course, but if baking appeals to you, bake. If you like to paint, paint once in a while. So whatever is therapeutic. For instance, when I was depressed, I used to look at a lot of TED Talks. I used to talk to a few juniors and seniors, and I used to talk to them and I used to ask them, how did you cope up with this? I used to talk to a lot of people. Sometimes I used to shut myself down and listen to music. So I think, some we all need to take a few steps, towards our hobbies or have alternative recreational avenues to sort of calm ourselves and remember that today might be a bad day, tomorrow will be a better day.
Yeah.
And, we'll all have to work towards it now. And nothing ever ends, we'll keep getting it. I'm pretty sure you also must have faced this, Anjali, once we got into college, once we got into IISER. Initially, we think, oh, wow, we got into college, everything is set. But then again, these questions come up. What about placements? What will
Yeah.
happen next? You know? And then,
Yes.
in between, for me, for instance, I have to make applications to graduate school, and then now I'm going to Harvard. I'm pretty sure after going there, the same thing will happen. So I
Yeah.
think nothing in life is certain. At every step, we'll have to work harder. We'll have to keep climbing. So I think we just need to remind ourselves that nothing out there is forever. Time is passing by, but we'll have to be faithful to ourselves, our roots, and always remember that the sun will rise tomorrow again, right? You have a
Yeah.
new day tomorrow. So it brings me back to the gift you had given me, the card, which encourages people. You should
Yeah.
keep smiling because it improves your cortisol levels at least. I think we live for so short times that we shouldn't really worry so much, and let's look forward to what we can do tomorrow, how we can make tomorrow a better place. Sorry if I sound filmy, but I think each one of us can really, really, really play a part in making the world a better place. There's so much happening around us.
Mhm.
Just smiling to each other is sometimes energizing. Maybe just shaking hands is sometimes very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Sometimes just sitting talking to your mama about, oh, please make me a cup of tea. Even that is very energizing.
Yeah.
So sometimes let's also look at the small, teeny little things that happened in a day and rejoice because you never know, tomorrow they might not come back.
Yeah.
So I think let's always live like today is our last day, and let's put in all the efforts we can. And tomorrow is a new day. So sorry if that was a lot of passion, but yeah, I hope it's some takeaway.
So I want to add that, see, like you people, we were also at the same phase. And see, the like she's going to Harvard. We all dream of going there. So
Oh God.
you can think it this way also. Like maybe everything happens for a reason, they say. So if you are not
Right.
able to get your college, then maybe something better is on the way. So even if you don't get
True.
IISER, you get some other college, then also you can find the way to your destination. So this is all.
Definitely.
You can share your experience of college.
Okay. Um, I don't want to cry, but because last week was my last day on campus, and must I say, when I came to campus first, first it was very overwhelming on my first day when my parents dropped me and it was time to say goodbye, and I started crying. Oh my God, what will happen to me? And last week, which is my last day, I was crying again, but this time I was crying because, oh my God, I'm leaving a family behind that I've harbored for all these 5 years, despite, we've seen COVID together, we've
Yeah,
made thick friendships. What all have we seen together? We've seen so much together, We've seen each other falling, rising, falling again, rising again. And we've seen professors share their life experiences with us. We've seen professors also going through ups and downs,
mm,
papers not being published, sometimes grants not being attained.
yeah,
We've seen so much, and were coming out with so much. I would like to see it this way, college in general. It's been like there's a ladder, and there is no height or there is no limit to the ladder. I'm not saying sky is the limit, and you should be ambitious, definitely. You should be practical too. But it's like every day you can only keep getting better, doing better. And I think that's what college teaches you. So today you might have an argument with your best friend, then in the night you might feel bad, and then next day you might go and just hug it out. It's okay. We're here for such short time. Sometimes we don't do that, and then we make a lot of mistakes. But I think that's what it's for. We make those mistakes so that we understand that tomorrow, oh well, I made this mistake in the past. I'm not going to make it again. So I think college is lovely because it teaches you, it's a world in itself, especially IISER. If I may say this, I've said this many times in the past, I'll say it again. If you want to be a researcher, it's this entire parallel with Shakespeare's poem Seven Ages, which is my favorite. The world's a stage. We all play our parts differently. Sometimes we're historians. We have to study, get out data in the past and then think about current day problems. Sometimes we're sports persons. We don't know how to solve a problem. Let's just, do tukka. Let's try. Let's put in this value, that value, swap in and check if this works. Sometimes we're painters. Sometimes we're all trying to paint a picture which only we can see, others can't see. You know, sometimes we're chefs, we're making something new and we have ingredients, and sometimes we don't have ingredients. So I think that's what college has taught me. Each day you play different roles. Sometimes you don't know those roles, but then eventually they become a very quintessential part of your life. And then when you're leaving it, you cry very badly. So yeah, it's very emotional. It is very close to my heart.
Thank you, Dee.
Also, I met people like you. I met many people like you who are so full of life, who want to contribute to society in their own ways, who want to motivate and encourage others. That's something to, look forward to for each one. For each one out there, there's so much to look at.
Yeah. There should be some motive towards life. So yeah, thank you, Dee. It was great to be with you. So I'll just
Thank you so much. It was greater to be interviewed by you.
yeah, you're the first person I'm interviewing.
Hope your YouTube really hope your YouTube channel crosses TRS, the Ranveer show.
Thank you so
I'm pretty sure it will one day. You do it. I'm yes, looking forward to more videos.
So thank you, Dee. This video was very helpful, and thank you so much for coming on my channel and helping so many students. And if you people have doubt related to BS engineering, then you can comment down. I'll of course share the link to Dee. If she gets time, then she can help you. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.